What is up, and welcome back to another episode of Blood and Beer, the show where I talk blood sport and drink beer. It's been a minute since I've made an episode. I've been working a ton lately. Haven't been drinking beer, haven't been watching all the fights, just haven't had the time to sit down and be making the show like I had been. Didn't have the energy for it, but I'm back. I'm looking forward to bringing you episodes weekly, bi-weekly. We'll be doing this again. Hopefully I can keep this going this time. Sorry about my absence. But enough of that. Since I've been gone, there's a ton that's happened in the MMA world. Boxing, bare knuckles been doing its thing. Jake Paul's been doing whatever Jake Paul does. Lots been going on. But in the UFC, we got two new champions since my last episode. We got Islam Makhachev defeated Charles Oliveira for the belt. We got Leon Edwards with a comeback knockout in the last minute of a 25-minute war with Kamaru Usman. So there's a lot that's been going on, and then tons of new contenders as well. We'll jump into that in just a second. But first, our beer. Went to the gas station, grabbed the first thing I saw. This is a Sunspun Shandy by Rheingeist. It's a shandy with grapefruit and orange juice. I don't fucking know. It's been a minute since I've had a beer, so. That's really fucking good. That tastes like juice. Wow. I don't even know if that's a beer, but that's really good. That tastes like juice. Yeah, we're gonna give that a solid score. I don't know, 8, 8-1, 8-2. Might be being generous for my first episode back, not having a beer in so long. Back into the combat sports world though. So as I was saying, lots been going on since the last episode. We have the new champs in the UFC. We got a ton of new contenders also. Sean O'Malley, he took down Petr Yan. He became the number one contender for the bantamweights. We got Arnold Allen working his way up the UFC rankings, looking for a title shot. Rafael Fiziev, dude looks like the Matrix out there. He's a beast at lightweight. He beat Rafael dos Anjos, and then everybody else that's been put in front of him. He's that dude. He's coming up fast. Then we also have Alex Pereira, kickboxer with some serious power. He's the guy that defeated Izzy twice in kickboxing, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. This episode, we're going to be just looking ahead at everything going on for the rest of the year in the UFC, Bellator, Rising a little bit, PFL. We're just going to go over what we got ahead. And then at the end of the episode, we're going to make some picks for this upcoming UFC card. It's not the best, but it's got some entertaining fights, some close matchups on it. But yeah, let's just jump right in. The first big thing we got going on for the UFC is UFC 281. That's not this weekend, but next weekend, November 12th. That's Israel Adesanya versus Alex Pereira. These two were bitter rivals in kickboxing. They fought twice, and like I said, Pereira, he beat him twice. Once was decision. The other time was a brutal knockout. You can find the video online. But I mean, Izzy had to have an oxygen mask. He was stiffened with a left hook. And since coming to the UFC, that's what Pereira's been doing. I mean, dude, he slept Sean Strickland. I forget the guy's name that he fought in his UFC debut, but landed a flying knee, got the knockout there. Dude's legit, and he's got some serious power, so that's going to be a fun card. And we also get to see Carla Esparza defend her belt for the first time against Zhang Weili. And then Dustin Poirier versus Michael Chandler. Who else is on that? Oh, Frankie Edgar's retirement fight. He's taking on Chris Gutierrez. I mean, it's going to be a hell of a card. Get my phone out of here. It's making too much noise. Sorry. Oh, and then Dominic Reyes, he's coming back as well, taking on Ryan Spann. Next week's episode, I'll be going over all these fights, but it's gonna be fun. And then after that card on November 12th, November 18th, so the following Friday, Bellator 288 on Showtime. We get to see the rematch of Corey Anderson taking on Vadim Nemkov. These two fought earlier this year in the light heavyweight Grand Prix finale. And Corey Anderson was starting to run away with it. He was about to take Vadim Nemkov's belt. But then as he's hitting some ground and pound, getting some nice shots off, they stopped the fight. because Vadim is split up so bad, and it happened due to an accidental headbutt right before the end of the third round, so they didn't get to go to the judges' scorecards. They called it a no contest. So they're rematching it, running it back. That's going to be a fun fight. And on that same card, we got Patricky Fieri. He's taking on Khabib Nurmagomedov's brother or cousin, Umar Nurmagomedov, who's also undefeated in the UFC or in Bellator. Dagestan, they're taking over all the sports. They got Islam Makhachev as the champ in UFC, and now they're looking to have Umar Nurmagomedov as the champ in Bellator for lightweight. So that's on Showtime November 18th. And then rounding out November, we have the PFL 2022 Championship. It's going to be PFL's first pay-per-view. So that's going to be $29.99. It's run by ESPN, I believe. And there's some fucking bangers on that card, honestly. We get to see Shane Burgos, UFC vet, taking on another UFC vet, and Marlon Moraes. That's not for a PFL championship. That's just on the prelims. And that's going to be a fun fight because Burgos throws down. And Moraes is skilled, but I don't know if that chin's there. He got knocked out quite a few times in his last couple go-arounds in the UFC. And then also we get to see Bubba Jenkins back in action. Sabadou Sai, Kayla Harris. She's going for her third championship in PFL. She's trying to become a 3-time champ. I forget the girl's name that she's fighting, but man, this girl was running through the competition during the regular season and in the tournament portion of it. So this might be Kayla Harrison's toughest test yet, but I still think she's been fighting trash cans for the most part. PFL looks like they're working to get a lot better fighters in her division so that she sticks around and can really prove herself as one of the best in the world. But yeah, that is November. Man, I don't have the date written down. I want to say it's November 26th, but I'm not 100% sure at this time. But it's going to be pay-per-view, which is kind of odd because I don't think that PFL has the big names to bring people spending $30, $20, or even $10 to watch one card. Kayla Harrison, she's a big name, but who's really paying to watch her fight? It's a stacked card, don't get me wrong, but $30 is a hefty price for that one. We'll have to see, but they're ambitious, and I think they have the second highest viewership of all the combat sports. And then in December, we're going to be starting off with UFC Fight Night. I don't have any other fight nights on here except for this one because this looks like it's got the best fight night card of the year. It's got Kevin Holland versus Stephen Wonderboy Thompson headlining, so that's going to be a fun striking affair. And then in the co-main, we have Tai Tuivasa taking on Sergey Pavlovich. Tai Tuivasa throws the fuck down. He's a warrior. If you didn't see his last fight with Cyril Gane, he lost the fight, but it was fun as hell. Dude made it a war. And then also on the card, we got Nico Price coming back. He's taking on Phil Rowe. Derek Brunson versus Jack Hermanson. Rafael Dos Anjos versus Brian Barberena. There's a ton of other fights that just great matchups. Just not going to get into them all right now. We'll break it down closer to that date. But it's going to be a fun event. And then following that, there's UFC 282. Glover Teixeira versus Yuri Prohaska 2. If you remember earlier this year when they fought, it was a sloppy-ass fight, but it was a war for sure. Yuri ended up submitting Glover in the last round. I think it was in the last minute also to take that belt. On the undercard of that, we got Jan Blachowicz taking on Magomed Ankalaev in what's going to be, I'm sure, a stand-up war. Both dudes have real heavy hands and really good boxing. Paddy the Batty Pimblett making his comeback. He's taking on Jared Gordon. And then we have Bryce Mitchell taking on Ilia Topuria, Battle of the Grapplers. But I tell you, this Ilia Topuria dude, not a lot of people know about him. He's got great jiu-jitsu, but super heavy hands, super quick striking. And then also on the card, we get to see Robbie Lawler, Darren Tills making his comeback, Jairzinho Rosenstrikes taking on Kyle Dawkins, Alexander Gustafsson, Ovince St. Preux. List goes on. It's going to be a fun one as well. And then also what we got going on, we have Bellator at the end of the year. They're doing a cross-promotion fight card with Rizin Championship in Japan. And they're going to have their featherweight champ, Patricio Pitbull Fieri, his brother who's fighting on November 18th, is their lightweight champ, but the featherweight champ, he's fighting on it against Rizin's best featherweight. We got AJ McKee, the former featherweight champion. He's now at lightweight, and he's taking on Rizin's best lightweight, Kyoji Horiguchi, former Bellator and Rizin champ. He's fighting someone from Rizin as well. It's going to be a fun card. And I tell you, I love when these promotions take risks like this, do something that no one does. You don't see these cross promotion things anymore because nobody wants to have to say, yep, they have better fighters than us, and they just proved it. I feel like everybody's scared. Everyone thinks they have the best fighters, but nobody actually wants to push their chips in the middle of the table and say, let's just fucking prove it. Let's see who's really the best. Oh, I've been talking a lot. Oh, and I don't know how I missed this, how I forgot to bring it up at the beginning of the episode, but One Championship, they recently signed with Amazon Prime, and it's been amazing. I've been following One for a while. That's where Demetrius Johnson fights. Eddie Alvarez was fighting there for a while. It's where Ben Askren came from to the UFC. They've got super entertaining fights. I talked about them a lot earlier this year with their mixed rules fight. They really do a mixed card the whole way through. They have Muay Thai, kickboxing, a super series kickboxing with 4-ounce gloves. They have submission grappling. They have everything. They do super heavyweights and MMA as well. I mean, they're just a very fun promotion. And now they're on Amazon Prime. A lot of the times they'll do 2 cards in a day, one in the morning for their Chinese fans, and then they'll have their main card at night on Amazon Prime. You get to see Demetrius Johnson. He reclaimed the gold over there actually recently against Adriano Moraes. He lost it earlier this year or late last year due to a flying knee to the head, or flying knee on the ground to the head. It was, I don't know. It's awesome to see just these promotions getting these deals and becoming available to everyone. So check your local listings or your Amazon Prime listings for the next card because they put on some absolute battles and their fighters are just super entertaining. It's one of those promotions that it's got big names. It just flies under the radar. All right. Yeah. Again, this Shandy, telling you, 8-2. It's the bee's fucking knees. It's Rheingeist, and it's the Sunspun Shandy. I'm sorry if I seem a little bit out of rhythm or I'm flying through it or something. It's been a long time since I've done one of these. Got one of these done. So it's just good getting back into the swing of things. But as I said, we're going to make some picks for this weekend's UFC card. It's going to be, it's not the most entertaining card, but we got a pay-per-view the next weekend, so not all of them can be home run hitters. This one's UFC Fight Night, Marina Rodriguez versus Amanda Lemos. Both these women are strikers. Marina Rodriguez, she's a forward pressure fighter, has real technical striking, kicks, punches, really just keeps the pressure on you and will pick you apart as she's doing it, walks you down. Amanda Lemos, on the other hand, she's not going to keep walking you down the whole fight, but she's got some serious one-punch knockout power. I mean, you don't see that a lot in women's MMA where someone can put your lights out in one shot. You got Amanda Nunes who can do it. Other than that, maybe Chris Cyborg, but she hasn't done it in a while. But with Amanda Lemos, she can seriously do it. And she also can get it done on the ground. Now, Lemos is coming in as a plus 175 underdog. So, you're getting a lot of money back if she does get that win. But Marina Rodriguez, she's fought some dangerous women and not gotten taken. She doesn't go to the ground if she doesn't want to. And she seems to really control the pace in the stand-up. I just think that ability to control the fight and where it goes when you want it to be there is going to be her advantage. Her fight IQ, I think she's going to walk away with this. So even though you're going to get a lot of money back if Lemos lands one of those bombs, I'm saying that Lemos is going to not get the win. Roll with Marina Rodriguez for the win, even at minus 210. And then in the co-main event on that, another pick we're going to be making, it's Neil Magny, the vet, He's taking on Daniel Rodriguez, who just recently fought Li Jingling during that whole Nate Diaz fiasco card with Khamzat Chimaev, where they had to rearrange all the main events because Khamzat missed weight by like 10 pounds. So Daniel Rodriguez has some super good boxing. Neil Magny's also got good boxing, good kicks. Both are pretty good stand up. I think what the difference maker here is Neil Magny in the clinch. He's got vicious knees, real good elbows, and he's got a real ability to control range. If he wants it close, he'll get it close. If he wants to keep it at distance, he does that as well. He's got another guy with a great fight IQ, and he really only struggles against super strong wrestlers, it seems, and that's not Daniel Rodriguez's style. So I'm picking Neil Magny to walk away the winner in this one. He's a favorite, just slightly minus 120, so it's almost a pick 'em fight. But this is going to be a fun fight, I think, as well. Neil Magny always puts on a show, as does Daniel Rodriguez. So I picked two favorites there. The other fight that we're going to be talking about, we're going to go with the dog on this one. It's Mark Madsen. He's taking on Grant Dawson. Both are really good wrestlers. Mark Madsen, I want to say he's an Olympic gold medalist, but if he's not a gold medalist, I know he wrestled in the Olympics. Dude's a beast. He's got great control, great wrestling in general. Every guy he fights, it's not the most entertaining, but he holds them there. He does a little bit of damage. He looks for submissions a little bit. He's 12-0 for a reason. He knows how to control the fight. He's a plus 220 underdog, and his wrestling is a total X factor. I can't believe he's at plus 220, so my money's on him. Those are my three picks this weekend's card. Could be wrong, they're all kind of tough picks. The pick'ems always are, but that's what we have going on this weekend. There's a bunch of other fights as well, but then if you don't want to watch that card, if you think that looks boring, that doesn't look like it's got a lot of names I want to see, you could also tune in to Bare Knuckle Fight Club this weekend. Saturday at 9 p.m. the main event starts. That's on the Bare Knuckle app. That's going to be a fun card as well, because Bare Knuckle always has just tons of knockouts and quick knockouts because they're hitting each other with fucking bricks. So that's what we got for you. I appreciate you tuning in. Thanks for watching. Look forward, like I said, to be bringing you these once a week or once every other week. And yeah, thank you.